I chose the environmental impact of chlamydia in koalas and its management to ensure sustainability of the species in Queensland, Australia for my inquiry project. I chose this project because the koala is considered an Australian icon. Australia's tourism relies upon its icons such as the koala, kangaroo, platypus and many other indigenous animals to entice overseas visitors to its shores. My initial research highlighted the devastating impact of chlamydia on the reproductive organs in the koala species. Chlamydia is a highly infectious bacterial infection that is sexually transmitted between female and male species and passed from the mother to her offspring. Koalas infected with chlamydia display symptoms of urinary tract infections, which spread to the genitalia, widely known as wet bottom. The severity of the infections damage the reproductive system, which lead to sterility in both the female and male species. Chlamydia also causes conjunctivitis infections, which lead to blindness. Once the eye has been infected, mucus is secreted, causing inflammation. Blindness puts a koala at risk of being attacked by dogs or even death by vehicle, as urbanization destroys their habitat. The sustainability of the species has caused considerable concern due to this drastic population decline, specifically in the southeast Queensland region. It has been noted in the Koala Coast report that the number of koalas in that region have declined by over 60% from 1996 to 2010. Unless this disease is managed effectively, the koala species is at risk of becoming an endangered species. I used various research applications to identify information relating to chlamydia in koalas. I used both Google and Yahoo search engines to identify useful websites that contained information about the disease itself and the effect upon the koala species. I included search words such as chlamydia in koalas, sustainability of the koala species, treating chlamydia in koalas, and decline of the koala population. I found several interesting articles, though most were biased, using persuasive language. I saved specific articles onto a Trello board for further investigation. I found Trello to be an excellent way to store articles for further research, using a card for each article and then sorting the cards into the most appropriate list. I used a references cited from the articles in the ProQuest database from the Curtin Library, including peer-reviewed scholarly journals published after 2010. There were several informative scholarly journals available that enabled a deeper understanding of the topic, with tables and graphs to reiterate the information within the journals. The Australian Koala Foundation suggests tourists that travelled solely to see koalas injected over $1 billion into the Australian economy in 1 year. Koala chlamydial infections are one of the most acutely studied of any wildlife species. Due to this, scientists are able to consolidate the understandings from these studies and apply them to the impact of chlamydial disease on all native species. The species decline can also be used as an indicator of an unhealthy ecosystem and habitat. The deforestation that has affected the number decline in koalas has also had considerable impact on other native species such as the numbat and the grey falcon. Bush Heritage Australia claims that for every 100 hectares of bush destroyed, between 1,000 and 2,000 birds die from exposure, starvation and stress. Native animals are essential to the ecosystem. They keep some animals from becoming too abundant, provide food for the native predators, and they manage vegetation growth by spreading seed, grazing, and fertilizing it with manure. This inquiry would be most suitable for years 3 to 4 in the learning area of science in the Australian curriculum, specifically how science knowledge helps people to understand the effect of their actions. Students will gain an understanding of how deforestation has had a devastating effect upon the natural habitats of native animals to the extent of which they may become extinct.
Created using Powtoon.